Hey, what's up, it's Miguel, and in this video I want to talk about action and the importance of action to actually initiate the process of learning a skill. But before I start, I'm Miguel, I'm a web developer, and I teach web development to people all over the world because I believe it's one of the best ways for you to achieve personal and financial freedom. And we also talk about self-development topics because I believe it's really important to build a strong foundation in your life so that you can learn web development or any other skill you set your mind to. So it's really important for you to initiate action, regardless of if you have a teacher, if you have like the right equipment or anything, right? Just start doing something, right? Because that actually gets you in the process of discovering what you don't know and it puts you in the process basically of investigating and finding different solutions for the things you don't know. You're going to come across roadblocks as you progress, obviously. And in these roadblocks, you will start to look for answers. You will start to look on the internet because your problems, I'm sure a ton of people have already come across them, you know, especially in web development. So when you come across those roadblocks, which you have to get to through action, you will find solutions on the internet, and then you can obviously, like once you progress to a certain level, you can get a job, and the people at the job will be your teachers and will actually teach you about web development, and you'll be able to progress much faster and actually get paid to learn, right? So, but before we get there, you have to put yourself into action. You have to do a lot of investigation on your part through the internet, obviously, and this is basically done through action. So you basically start this process through action. There's 4 steps to learning a skill. When you don't know that you don't know, when you're conscious that you don't know, when you are conscious that you do know, and when you're conscious that you know, when you're unconscious that you know, basically when you're so good at a skill that you don't really, you just naturally do it, basically, right? So to get past that first step of not knowing that you don't know, you have to put yourself into action to realize the problems that you're going to come across, right? As you basically take action and try and do things. And you also have to strip away fear, because that's something I personally had when I started learning web development. I would watch all of these video tutorials, but I would never really actually start doing anything, right? I wouldn't start like punching code and like typing out basically real code that would render something on the screen, right? So it took me quite a while to start there, and I came across a video actually about tutorial hell, which you can definitely find on the internet, and it's literally the state you sort of that phase you get in, where you're literally watching tutorial after tutorial after tutorial. You think you're learning stuff, but then when it actually comes to like putting code on your code editor and actually producing something, you can't really do much, right? So it's really important that when you watch a tutorial, you actually start putting yourself into action and just start copying the tutorial. For example, I came across a tutorial by Debed, right, about a to-do list. It was just like a simple to-do list. And that started me in the process of learning JavaScript. So that's when I had my HTML and CSS skills relatively consistent, relatively solid. And I decided, hey, I want to learn JavaScript and I want to know how this thing works. I had not seen like any theory about JavaScript, but what I did is I just got the tutorial, studied it, went through it, copied it over and over and over again until I could build the application basically. And after that, it was much simpler to go through an actual JavaScript theory course, which I later did, obviously to kind of brush up on the skills and learn other things that I didn't know, right? Discover other things that I didn't know. So that was kind of the process of me learning JavaScript, CSS, and HTML. CSS and HTML I actually learned through a website called frontendmentor.io. That's where I saw the designs and I would just copy them over and over again as well. And that sort of aided me also to build my portfolio, which I put some of those designs or those applications that I built on my portfolio so that obviously an employer could see them. But what I really want to state in this video is that you have to get yourself into action, because if you don't, you're literally going to be in that tutorial hell where you continuously just go through tutorials and never actually end up learning how to do anything. You have to put things into muscle memory as well for like just CSS, like for example, Flexbox, right? If you want to learn how to position elements on a screen, you have to just go through Flexbox again and again and again, go through those properties, maybe like write them 5 times on paper, and then you're going to learn them, right? Because you're going to basically drill them again and again, and then they're going to come out naturally. You're going to put them into muscle memory, and it's going to be much easier for you to basically just perform, right? So all I want you to know in this video is that action breeds progress, right? And if you don't put yourself into action, you'll never really reach the progress you want, and you'll never really progress to be able to become a web developer and find that job in the end, or even build a portfolio to be able to apply for a job, you know? So that's basically it. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and as always, do it every day and you'll be okay. See ya.